Welcome to the Royal Calcutta Turf Club for the Calcutta Races Summer Meeting First Day Thursday 6th March 2025 race preview. The first race of the afternoon is the Great Iran Handicap for horses rated 1 to 26 to be run over a distance of about 1200 meters. The first runner we are looking at is NRI Secret, who came down from southern India. Had a start in race number 39 over 1100 meters, where NRI Secret was racing in a prominent position until the last 250 meters, was in third spot, then started to drop back, eventually finished on last of 7 runners. The winner here was Honey Cake and NRI Secret. Today the mount of PR Kumar, drawn 5. We're looking at couple of runners, Angel Light and 4 Dancing Queen. This is from race number 123, where Angel Light, who's been slow out of the gates in the last 2 starts, here she was in third spot as the horses turned for home, then dropped back, eventually finished on 7. Dancing Queen, who was racing in 8th spot at the turn, eventually finished on 8. The winner here was Dance Along, who eventually won the race by 2 1/4 lengths. Angel Light the mount of Vishal and Bunde, and Dancing Queen ridden by Varun. 5 is UV. UV has had quite a few starts, an eye-catching start in the early part of the season for UV, where he finished on 2nd in race number 14. Subsequently has had 5 unplaced efforts, including this start, which is in race number 124, where UV took the turn in 8th spot, made a couple of placings, as you can see in the black jacket with a white cap, and finished on 6th of 11 runners. The winner was Sporting Trainer. Couple of runners, Palcha and Sangeeta. This from race number 111, where Palcha, who was racing in 6th spot at the turn in a clustered finish, finished on 6th, and Sangeeta, who's had 3 starts in the season. Over here Sangeeta was slow into stride, was in 10th spot, then stayed on in 10th. The winner was Happy Morning, who eventually got the race by a length and a half. Palcha the mount of P. Tejeshwar, and Sangeeta ridden by A. Ashad Ashbar. 7 is Diamond Gold, who had a start on opening day, which was on the monsoon track, and Diamond Gold, after being in 9th spot, made a couple of placing and eventually finished on 7th. Running after a mini big break is Diamond Gold. Today the mount of Kirtish Bhagat, and drawn 2 is Diamond Gold. We move on to the second race of the afternoon, the El Abro Handicap for horses rated 21 to 46, rated 1 to 26 eligible to be run over a distance of about 1400 meters. First up, we're looking at a couple of runners. This is from race number 125. We had Multi-Stara, who was a winner in earlier start in race number 21. Over here, Multi-Stara took the turn in 6th spot, then eventually finished on 4th of 14 runners, and 3 Rhapsody in Green, who's had 5 starts in this season. Last 2 starts, Rhapsody in Green has been on board in 3rd spot. Here also finished on 3rd behind Super Sapphire. 2 is Money Catcher. Money Catcher has had a few starts in race number 3, finished on 2nd, and since then has had 3 unplaced efforts for Money Catcher, including this start where Money Catcher was in 10th spot, then tried to make a passage towards the inside, eventually finished on 7th. The winner here was Star Concept Money Catcher, the mount of R. Bhaibab, and drawn 7. 4 is Dance Along. Dance Along, after having a few starts in the season, finally came good into the last start in race number 123, where it took the inside passage and was ridden straight as an arrow by Suraj Naridu, and eventually got the measure of the runaway leader Blue Chip. Dance Along again ridden by Suraj Naridu, and drawn 2. 5 is Super Rakiga, who's had 5 starts in the season. 3rd placed effort in race number 89, that was over 1600 meters. Over here, Super Rakiga in a field of 7 was in 2nd spot as they entered the home straight, then dropped back slightly and eventually finished on 4th. The winner here was Tusaw, who eventually had 2 1/4 lengths to spare. Super Rakiga, the mount of Ankush, who's drawn 4. 6 is Banduk Wali, 2 starts in the season for Banduk Wali, and she's been bridesmaid in both start. In race number 80, she finished on second. To intense belief, last start Banduk Wali went over 1600 meters, was in third spot, then came up with a run and then started to run a little green and eventually finished on second to Macchiato Banduk Wali, again the mount of Imran Chisti, and she's drawn 1. 7 is Skyhawk. Skyhawk, a start after coming down from Bombay. Skyhawk, this was over 1400 meters. This was in race number 33. It was on a start to finish mission as they entered the home straight. Then was caught up close home by Emperor Ashoka. Won the race by a long neck, and Skyhawk did the next best thing. Finished on second. Amount of Vishal and Bunde, drawn 5. We move on to the third race of the day, the two-bull cane handicap for horses weight 41 to 66, rate 1 to 21 to 46, eligible to be run over a distance of about 1100 meters. This is a race for horses which have run at Kolkata, having completed the course since Wednesday 30th of October 2024 and have not won a race at any centre since that day, to be ridden by jockeys of Indian nationality, to be run over a distance of about 1100 meters. First two runners we are looking at is K-Star and Donna Sienna. K-Star, who's had a few starts in this season, 5 to be precise, and our third place effort on opening day, and in this race number 95, K-Star was leading the pack until the last 150 meters, where it was overhauled by Sir Buffett and Donna Sienna, who was another runner in this race. Donna Sienna has been second in her last two start over here. She finished on second by almost 3 1/4 lengths. We are looking at race number 78, where we had 3 runners, Black Coffee, Light of the World and Tuscany. Tuscany unfortunately was left at the gates, and then we had Black Coffee, who was racing in 5th spot and eventually made up a placing and finished on 4th. And we had number 4, Light of the World. Light of the World in an earlier start finished on second to Fiery Red over here. Light of the World, after being in the lead until the last 100 meters, dropped back, finished on 5th. The winner was My Princess, who eventually got the race by a nose. 5 is Sea of Charm. Sea of Charm has had 5 starts in the season. Was slow out in a couple of starts. However, in the last start, Sea of Charm took a level jump, was 6th at the bend, but then did not really capitalize on that. If anything, dropped back, finished on 8th of 12 runners. The winner was Norwegian Wood. Sea of Charm, the mount of Shahzad Khan, and is drawn 2. 6 is High Opinion. High Opinion has come down from Mysore and has a start here in race number 92. Went over 1100 meters and was in 6th spot as they turned for home. Then dropped back, eventually finished on 9th of 10 runners. The winner was Matangi. We move on to the fourth race of the day, the feature race of the afternoon, the JSK1 Champions Cup for maiden horses, 3-year-old only, to be run over a distance of about 1100 meters. First up, we got Sepiman, Astral Gold and Simran Star. Sepiman, this was the second start for Sepiman, who was racing in 4th spot when the race came to a boil. Dropped back a placing, finished on 5th. Astral Gold, who was racing green throughout the race, eventually finished on 6th of 7 runners. Simran Star, who's definitely be an eye catcher, 3 starts and a couple of second placed effort, and over here Simran Star finished on 3rd to a smart type Kerry Gold. 2 is Whirlwind, who came down from Western India, has had a couple of starts, a 4th placed effort over 1400 meters behind Panthazi. Last start went over 1600 meters, was racing in a prominent position until the last 250 meters, where Whirlwind started to really drop back, eventually finished on 2nd last. The winner again was Panthazi. Whirlwind today the mount of R. Baibab. We move on to the 5th race of the afternoon, the GSK1 Play Big, Win Bigger plate for horses rate 61 to 86, rate 41 to 66, eligible to be run over a distance of about 1600 meters. First runner we are looking at Flying Scotsman, who's had 5 starts in this season, and unplaced in all 5 starts so far for Flying Scotsman. And last start was in race number 122. It took the turn in 6th spot, stayed on in 6th. The winner here was Vincent Van Gogh, who has gone on to do bigger and better things. Flying Scotsman, the mount of R.S. Butty. 2 Great Guns, 3 Amber Knight and 6 Main Street. Great Guns was an eye-catcher in race number 40, where really came late into the scene and won. Since then has not really built up on that. Finished on 4th in race number 90. Finished on 3rd over here in race number 114 over 2000 meters. And then Amber Knight, who was in 2nd spot behind Ramiel, who has gone on to win the Stayers Cup. And then next over here, Amber Knight was racing in 3rd spot, eventually finished on 4th. And Main Street, who finished on 3rd in the Oaks, and since then has finished on 3rd and 2nd over here. 5 is Nautica, who had a long break, then came back with a run in the monsoon season. That was in race number 66, where really moved like a trace of bullet into the last 200 meters, left them standing for cold, and eventually won the race by length and 3/4. Nautica again running after a long layoff, again the mount of PR Kumar. 7 Dragons Gold, 8 Sativor, 10 Natural Grace. Dragons Gold, who's had a few starts in the season, started the season with a win on the opening day, that was on the monsoon track. Since then, a 3rd place effort in race number 51. 8 Sativor, who was a winner in an earlier start, that was in race number 64, then finished on 2nd in subsequent start, and then over here finished on 3rd. And 10, which is Natural Grace, who's had a couple of starts unplaced in both start. One of the starts was in the 1000 guineas, where she finished on behind Trahila. Number 9 is Into the Storm. Into the Storm won a race in race number 71, and since then has finished on 2nd couple of times. Then last start, Into the Storm was really moving very nicely towards the inside, but then the run petered out. Eventually, Into the Storm finished on 3rd to Norwegian Wood. Into the Storm today, the mount of Vinay Jaswal. 'We move on to the 6th and last race of the day, the Angelo Handicap for horses grade 21 to 46, grade 1 to 26, eligible to be ridden by jockeys of Indian nationality. This is a no-whip race to be run over a distance of about 1100 meters. One is Trebia, who's been winner of a couple of starts in race number 26 and 41 respectively. Since then, 3 starts, a 2nd placed effort in race number 85, and the run we're looking at is from race number 102, where Trebia was racing in 10th spot, then weaved a passage towards the inside and got into the place money, finished on 3rd behind Lucretius. Trebia, again the mount of R. Baber. 2 is Lucretius, 4 is Memphis. Both runners have won their penultimate starts. Lucretius won in race number 102 and Memphis won in race number 87. Last start, Lucretius was on a start to finish mission, then was caught up close home by Fresho. Did the next best thing, finished on 2nd. Memphis, who was racing in 3rd spot, dropped back a placing in a clustered finish and eventually finished on 4th, just missed out the place money. Memphis, the mount of Arul JH, and Lucretius, ridden by Imran Chisti. 3 is Raisa, earlier known as Khaleesi, came down from Western India, had a start in race number 86, where Raisa was racing in 5th spot. When the race came to a boil, Raisa dropped back a couple of placing and eventually finished on 7th of 10 runners. The winner was Asagiri. 5 is Intense Belief, was winner in race number 80, where Intense Belief got the measure of Banduk Wali. Last start, Intense Belief was in 4th spot, then came up with a nice looking run and eventually got into 2nd spot behind Honey Cake. Intense Belief today, the mount of R. Shella. 6 is Fulcrum, who had 4 starts, 3 starts to be precise in this season, unplaced in all 3 starts. The start is from race number 85, where Fulcrum was racing in 7th spot, weekend, and eventually finished on last of 11 runners. The winner was Impressivani. Fulcrum, the mount of Arman Khan, drawn 10. 7 is happy morning after knocking on the doors in few starts. Finally came good in last start where she was in third spot. Then into the last 200 meters really started to accelerate. Got the measure of all and sundry. Eventually had a length and a half to spare behind over Dubai King. Happy morning, the Mount of P Tejeshwar. 8 is Holy Gold, who has had 4 starts so far in the season. Last start, Holy Gold was in 9th spot, did not really get involved in the race, finished on detached last. The winner here was Intense Belief, Holy Gold, the Mount of Ankush, drawn 8. Nine is Absolute Lightning. Absolute Lightning won a race on opening day that was on monsoon track, but has been knocking on the doors, has been running into 4th and into place money that was in the last start, where Absolute Lightning went to over 1400 meters, was in a prominent position until the last 200 meters, but still saved place money, finished on 3rd. The Mount of Varun is the Absolute Lightning. Finally, we got 10 Kindred Spirit. Kindred Spirit, who's had 7 starts in this season, has not really placed in any of them. Last start, Kindred Spirit took the turn in 5th spot, then started to drop back, eventually finished on 12th of 14 runners. The winner was Super Sapphire. So that's the lineup for the day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. See you at the races and good luck.